Hey YouTube, sitting at home, just getting over a cold, having a glass of homemade ginger tea, finally working my way through the end of some of the old footage that I have. And I came across this little project I undertook about 3 years ago. And all it really is a trigger extension on a semi-auto 1022. The reason I did that is I started into paintball. And I thought, man, these triggers are awesome. It's kind of like a recurve bottom trigger, and the trigger pull, of course, is super light. They're electronic. And I thought, you know what, if I could carry this concept over to a 1022, I bet you I could increase my rate of fire. It definitely did. It went from about 300 on a single pull, so just using this portion of the trigger, to about 400 rounds per minute with the extension. I mean, all we're really saying is that whatever finger squeezes first is the strongest, and therefore sets off a round. There's a lighter trigger pull here, just because it's a lever. If it were way out here, it'd be even less, right? And this is a heavier trigger pull, but it's less distance. So we're looking at lighter with more distance, right, and heavier with less travel. So the trigger pull on this trigger was already at like 3 pounds, so it really wasn't anything crazy, top or bottom. But it made a difference. Didn't really know if it would or not, but after trying it in the field and taking a bunch of videos, I'll throw them in after this along with some photos of how I did this. It totally did, and it was really fun. So basically what I did was I mapped out Ruger's stock trigger guard and trigger, and I put it into AutoCAD. And then what I did was I printed to scale, and doing that I could drop the trigger guard, put the piece that I wanted to model on. I had already made a few templates, and kind of look what it was going to look like as a finished product. Once I had done that, and I talked to people, and we looked at it, and we thought, oh, you know what, like, this is going to be the best one. I printed it again to scale, chopped the trigger guard, and then laminated plexiglass using like 3M glue or whatever spray adhesive you can in a vise, and sort of built it back up to the thickness that the old trigger guard was. Once I'd done that, my scale print just got glued on top of it, and I cut it out. And then sanded it too. Putting it to the old trigger guard was just like tying into old concrete. I drilled small holes and put in galvanized cable kind of thing. Basically just paper clips, if you want to look at it that way. And then some 2-part epoxy. And it's pretty strong. I've never been super light on my guns, and it's always held up just fine. Did the same thing putting the other trigger on. I have a bunch of these. I tried different ones, but I like this one the best. And just kind of filled it in and sanded it out smooth. So I mean, aesthetically, it's not, it's not the prettiest thing with the seams like that. I mean, it's paintable epoxy, you could paint it. Functionally, I loved it. I thought it was really, really cool. So from a legal perspective, here in Canada anyways, I didn't modify any of the internals. The sears are all stock, basically, you know. Didn't touch anything in there. I looked up as much as I could on the internet for trigger extensions. And the length of the trigger, I couldn't find any legal reason that it couldn't be farther. I think firearms have to have a trigger guard for safety reasons, but I mean, that's back in place. So I did my best. I couldn't find anything illegal about it. Hopefully this post doesn't get me into any trouble, but the point was that it definitely had an improvement, about a 25% speed improvement, which was really cool. And you'll see that in some of the speed tests that I post in the next videos and slides, kind of how it all went down. So if you want to make one, that's how I made it. I think you can buy them in the US for ARs and stuff, but this is how I did it for my Ruger. And I don't know, I hope you enjoy the videos. It was kind of cool. So check it out.
Okay, GoPro. Trial 2, double squeeze on the double trigger. So this is just a prototype here that, among many that have been molded, but this one's been put on here for today. So double squeeze meaning just 2 fingers on that. I feel it's faster than this because there's less power required here, and whatever finger's strongest is going to dominate the trigger pull. So I do believe there's going to be an increase there. Okay, so round 1 is going to be straight trigger pull here as quick as can be. So I don't know, we'll get times on it later, but whatever happens. You good?
I just need another beer.
I'll be right there. Okay, GoPro, we're rocking.
Okay, we are running. Now double trigger. Double squeeze.
Double trigger, double squeeze. We're not trying to walk yet. I'll clear off that box without my sight on. There we go. Ball Quartzin, I curse you! I don't know what happened. Okay, fastest rate of fire. Just focus on steady increasing trigger pull. Smash it. Oh my god. Quick, 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 quick. That was a good run. That was a good run. Nothing wrong with that.
Done. Ready?
Hit it.
Done.
Do a rate of fire here with GoPro. But yeah, we could throw some snowball. What up, GoPro? Why does that keep happening to me? Not a very good start. I almost think I didn't put this together properly or something. As fast as we can, GoPro. As fast as we can. Ridiculous.
That was obviously double, eh?
Oh yeah.
You don't have any gaps there.
I slow down a little bit at the end.
Yeah, but
Just losing focus.
With single, you always get a gap. Like you get a rhythm and then you get a gap.
Yeah. Yeah, you're nailing it and then it's like, and then you're back on and... The ball Quartzin didn't fail that time. That's impressive. Impressive move, ball Quartzin. Single trigger time. Just cannot go as fast. Okay, GoPro, we're going to count out 10 here with the single, and then I'm going to try to light it up to double.